I'm Aaron Velasquez. I'm a freshman over at Kennedy High School, and I'm here to talk to you about which one would help our climate more, electric or hybrid vehicles. We all know that sustainability is needed to save the world, so I've decided to get rid of the gas-guzzling cars like the Hummer and switch over to electric and hybrids to get a better future. As you can see from the picture, everybody loves bald eagles. My core goal, looking towards the future with respect to greenhouse gases, I want to learn how hybrid and electric cars could be less damaging to the environment. I chose this topic because it affects me personally, and since I'm young, it's going to affect our future generations and how we're going to live on this earth. And I'm trying to get my family, actually, to buy an electric or hybrid car. We're having a big argument about it. Due to the research I've done, I'm really disappointed at the amount of pollution the fossil fuels are putting out into our environment. If this pollution does not stop, or at least be reduced, we will be forced with more greenhouse gases and climate changes that will affect us all. That's actually my brother when he visited China. He took a picture at 3 p.m. in Beijing. Tell me if you can find the sun. I can't find it. Next. The emission standpoint. Keeping sustainability in mind, hybrid electric vehicles, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, and all electric vehicles typically produce lower emissions than conventional gasoline vehicles do. Our carbon footprint. Although electric vehicles running only on electricity have zero tailpipe emissions, carbon emissions are still being produced through the power plants that produce electricity, and that's not that good either. Defining my problem. When I buy a car, what would I look at in deciding if I would rather purchase a hybrid or electric vehicle? There are many variables, and I would like to share a few with you here today. The first variable everybody looks at is the price, because they are pretty expensive. The Toyota Prius is around $23K, and it averages 50 miles to the gallon. Well, we're using that as a base, basically. And the added price over a non-hybrid is $2.6K. And the annual fuel savings versus a non-hybrid is $1,140, but the years to break even are just 2.3 years. With the Nissan Leaf, it's $25K, but it averages 99 miles to the gallon. And the added price over a non-hybrid is $5,090, but the annual savings is $1,704, and the years to break even is 3 years. The Honda Insight, 18K, and 5.3 years to break even, with the Nissan Altima, 24K, and 5.5 years to break even. With the Chevy Volt, which is what my family's considering, is 37.5K, and it takes 10.4 years to break even. I told them not to buy it. Considering the pollution and cost of driving 100 miles. On a 100-mile trip, a conventional gas car would release about 87 pounds of CO2, which would cost you $13.36. With a hybrid electric, it would release 57 pounds of CO2, and it would only cost you $8.78. With a plug-in hybrid electric, 62 pounds of CO2 and it costs you $7.10. And with the all-electric, it's 54 pounds of CO2 and $3.74. And considering the electric vehicle range, this chart does not have any hybrid cars on it or plug-in hybrids, all electric. The Tesla Model S, which is probably the most famous electric car right now because of what Tesla's doing to make all electric cars, it went on a 105.5-mile lap, and it went 2 laps. And some cars that didn't make it were very close, like the Ford Focus Electric was 5.7 miles short. Considering batteries. Batteries do not last forever. Doesn't matter where you get them, if they're in a car or at home. They have to go out sometime. With a lithium-ion battery pack in the Tesla Roadster, it is projected to have a lifespan of 5 years or about 100,000 miles. At the end of that time, the pack will need to be replaced at a big cost of $10,000. And finally, the charging time. Everybody's worried about this. With the fully electric vehicles, the charging at home still takes several hours for a full charge. With plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, the charging time can take as long as an electric vehicle, but you can rely on the gasoline to recharge the battery. The advantage of hybrid electric vehicles is no charging time. At this moment, I would choose a hybrid over an electric. Electric car batteries are made out of lithium, which is dangerous to get rid of, and they are also a lot slower to charge. Hybrids give the best of both worlds since they are batteries and since their batteries are much smaller and don't have a recharging time. With advancing technology in the near future, as renewable energy becomes more common, faster charging time develop, and longer driving ranges are achieved, I will reconsider a fully electric vehicle. That's my favorite BMW. It's beautiful. There are some great-looking hybrids. The top right is the fastest Ferrari ever made. It's the LaFerrari, I believe it's called. And the bottom right is the McLaren P1. I mean, none of these are that I can afford, let's put it that way. But they are pretty beautiful. I mean, just look at it. And my works cited. Thank you for having me today.